I've always liked starting new Minecraft worlds. Getting to discover all the new scenery, meeting all the cute little animals, and making new friends. Of course, every now and then you get dropped in a new world like this. Oh well. Let's see what's on the other side. Whoa, I am building here. Starter base, here we come. Now, choosing where to put your starter base is all about location. There's a number of things you want to take into account. The resources, the scenery, the biome, ease of access. All of these things are important to take into account. There are a few suitable locations here, but I think the one that I'm going to go with is this one. Building 101. When you start, it's gonna look bad. So, you can't let that dishearten you. Everybody goes through it. When we start building, we're gonna go ahead and start building with dirt because it's easily recognizable. You can see that we've put bare stone everywhere that we want to have terraformed. This is all gonna be covered up, so it's easy to see. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, I wanna have this nice and centered, but I also don't want it to just be a V leading into my base. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave maybe 2 blocks on each side, and then we'll start going out like this, right? So we'll do that on each side for starters, and just see where that takes us. See there? That's starting to look a lot better. Now the next step, since we have this all dirted out, is to replace the dirt with various types of stone and other gray blocks. Now the palette you're gonna be using looks something like this. Anything from dark over here to light over here. So let's go ahead and replace this with those blocks. Alright, it's all stone. Now, from here, there are really 2 steps to do. One is going to be replacing the different stone blocks with the various blocks that we have in here, your andesite, your cobblestone, all those blocks that you get while digging. The second thing to do is to then put holes in it by adding things like slabs and stairs and fence gates and all kinds of other things in here that just really bring it to life. And I guess there is also a third step after that, which is to add greenery and a little bit of life back into it. Let's go ahead and do some of that. Phase 2 done, we're starting to look a bit better. I did go ahead and go over to the local swamp biome and grabbed a couple of vines so that I could craft up some mossy cobblestone and mossy bricks. And they add a lot to the build. Now, next thing, let's go ahead and add in all those little extra details we were talking about. Beautiful. Now that we've got our cave exterior built, let's start looking at the interior. I've gone ahead and done a bit of decorating, adding in a floor and an entrance, but let's go ahead and start making the farms. Now, early game, you need a source of fuel so that you can do all of your smelting. So let's go ahead and make an automatic bamboo farm so that we can always have something to fuel all of our smelting needs. Now, in order to do this, you want to go ahead and dig out an area that is 5 wide by 5 tall by 6 deep. All right, and first things first, let's go ahead and place down a redstone in the back and a piston up front, and go ahead and place a observer on top of that. All right, now out of the back of the observer, we're gonna put a block with a repeater going into it on full ticks, and we can go ahead and fill in this area out back with a block up top. And then from there, we can go ahead and make a triangle of redstone on each side, and that will be enough to fuel all of our pistons. So let's go ahead and put the pistons in, and we can fill in this area with our stone. Now, to actually get the farm going, we need some dirt, and we can put that down at the bottom here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can go ahead and plant our bamboo in the dirt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Now, to make sure this thing works real quick, it's a pretty simple test. You just grow the bamboo. You can see that works just fine. So the farm itself is functioning. Now we need to do a collection system. So everything's going to go into this barrel at the bottom. You can't really use a chest because we're going to be putting items on top of it, unless you want to put a non-solid block up there like stairs or slabs or something like that. Now into the back of the barrel, or chest if you decide to go that way, you can put a hopper. We're going to go ahead and put our ferni. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, right out the front. And then we want to go ahead and add in a blast furnace and a smoker over here for all of your food and ore needs. And now that we've done that, we can add in the water system, just one on each side. They'll collect right in the middle over the hopper. And we can go ahead and add in a little bit of glass on top of that. There it is. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's nice and visible. And then we can go ahead and decorate that however we want. I'm just going to go ahead and put another layer of glass and another layer of stone for now. But we might mess around with that here in a bit. But this quick and dirty bamboo farm. And there's that all decorated. Turns out this same farm design can be used for both sugarcane, and I did a little bit of experimenting. You can also use it for kelp. And kelp, as we all know, is a really bad food source, but it also can be used as a fuel in block form. So, the only difference and modifications that you need to do is you need to bring the first 3 blocks up 1 higher, and we're not going to have the little platform here for the dirt. It's just going to be sand on the bottom, the same level as the storage. So let's go ahead and start here. You add a glass layer, and you add in your water. Go. Now you add in your kelp. And we'll go ahead and fill up the rest of these. All right. Yeah, maybe. See, there we go. That functioned. All right. Now, the difference here, and the important part, is that as kelp grows, it turns water into source blocks. So if these sides grow faster than the middle and don't trigger the farm, then the top is going to end up being source blocks anyway. So the design that we have to go with needs to account for that. In order to account for it, we're going to use these fence gates. 4 and number 5. You open these, and then any items that go over the top will simply fall down. So as that grows, it'll fall down. Perfect. Now, we're going to use smokers here, because kelp works perfectly well in a smoker. And we're going to add in our water on the sides. That goes right into the middle. Need our stairs so that everything looks the same. And we're going to go ahead and move this porch onto the back here so that we have everything lit but still hidden. There we go. And the glass. So that's 3 farms. We got bamboo, sugarcane, and kelp. That should provide us with some form of food, some form of fuel, as well as either sugar or paper, which are both very useful. I've also added composters over here so that you can compost those materials. Now, in order to have everything for the starter base, we only really need a handful of other things. We need a valid and reliable food source. We need a nether portal. Enchanting is kind of late game, but we'll see if we can fit one in here. We need a place to sleep, and we need storage. So, the reliable food source is going to be the tricky one. In order to get reliable food, I want to have a melon and pumpkin farm. But in order to make the melon and pumpkin farm, you need a load of nether quartz. So, the next thing that we're going to build is a nether portal. We're going to build it right next to where we build the melon and pumpkin farm. So, go ahead and do a pretty basic portal here. We're going to make ours 3 wide at the bottom, though. Oop. Alright, and in order to make it line up with our slab floor, we'll add stairs. And in order to make it line up with the top here and our aesthetic, we're going to add these guys. There we go, nether portal achieved. We can now enter the nether anytime we please. So let's go ahead and get some of our nether quartz, and we can start work on our melon and pumpkin farm. Now with our shiny new nether quartz, we've gone ahead and crafted a bunch of observers. Now for this farm, it's going to be a melon and pumpkin farm. And to do that, we're going to use the Ilmango design, but ours is just going to be a little 5x5. If you would like a really in-depth view on the rates and numbers and all that stuff, check out his channel. I'll link it in the description. But for the basics of this, it's pretty simple. So you have to put down observers every other block here. And as you do that, you want to put pistons facing downwards. On top of the pistons, you want to put note blocks. On top of the observers, you want to put some kind of solid block. And you just continue that in an alternating pattern. Observers go down. Pistons go up. Note blocks on the pistons. That's not up. Note blocks on the pistons. solid blocks on the observers. So I'm going to go ahead and do this entire area. All right, that's the entire 5x5 area. Now, there's going to be a level of dirt right here, but before we get to that, we want to go ahead and do the storage and item collection system. Now, that's predominantly going to be rails, but we're also going to make an item unloader over here, and it'll all go into a box over here. So, for starters, let's add in some powered rails here. Now, this is a bit expensive, but then again, it's an expensive farm, so you're going to need some redstone blocks. Put those here, and then we'll go ahead and make this one as well, and that'll lead up there. So, go ahead and do this. Got another powered rail here. We need to get some regular rails. We'll just continue these around. There we go. Now that we've completed that side, we can throw that against the wall. And we'll bring this around through the back. Let's do it this way, and then we will add... There we go. Now, this actually needs to be a hopper, so we're going to get rid of those real quick. Add in a nice double chest here with a hopper going into it and another hopper going into it. And add in that minecart. And then what we need to do is the actual system going out of this. And the way that's going to work is we are going to have a comparator and a repeater. Comparator is going to go out here. Going to add a redstone torch on the back. Grab that. There we go. Put the block back up. This is going to be a heater. Perfect. Repair the wall here. And then we'll have another block here. And that can all be sealed back up. And what that will do is that'll make an item unloader. We'll add this here. A solid block in front that it has something to press against. So that'll be the item collection system. Now, let's go ahead and do all of the actual farm bits. So to do that, we're going to need dirt. We're going to need melon and pumpkin seeds. There we go. We need a hoe. We need a slab. We're going to use an oak slab. And we're going to need a bucket of water. And while you're in the end, you want to go ahead and grab a piece of glowstone or some glowstone dust so you can make glowstone. So let's go ahead and make this. On the back row, we're going to put 5, right? 5 dirt. Now, the observers are going to watch the plant. The pistons are going to break the actual product, either the melon or the pumpkin. So we want to put the farmland on the ones from the observer. And this is going to be a bit difficult to do at first, because it'll keep popping off. So we're going to put this back here, and a dirt there, and the water block in here, so that when we farm this, it'll actually stay farmed. There we go. Alright, and then this one is not going to be farmland. So the way to do this is to just do an alternating pattern. You want to do pumpkin seeds, melon seeds, pumpkin seeds, melon seeds. We broke our torch. Go ahead and put that back. Right there so we can see. Set the time today. Alright. Dirt, dirt, dirt. There we go. Okay, this was a melon? Let's check that real quick. Nope, yeah, it was a melon. Okay. So these are going to be melon, these are going to be pumpkin, and this one will also be a pumpkin. So there's the entire farm completed. Right, the next thing that we need to do is we need to have a hopper minecart, which we'll get over here. And we'll just throw that on the bottom. There it goes. That'll collect all of our melons and pumpkins. But since I don't want to listen to that for the rest of the video, I'm going to get rid of it. I'll put that in later. Alright. I'm going to add in our decorations here. We don't really have anything to put there. Oh, the last thing that we need is our glowstone. We're going to put the glowstone on this observer in the middle. There we go. That should handle all of the lighting. So, grab a glass block so we can actually see into the farm. And we'll cover this up with our bricks and this up with our stairs. And I think that looks pretty good. Then over here we can see that all works properly. So we're good to close that up. Now I am going to go ahead and add in a few more double chests. Oop. Oop. Perfect. Alright, and then the top block is going to have to be a stairs block. We are going to make it the stone brick stairs, if I can find them. There they are. And like that. Perfect. That's the melon and pumpkin farm done. Quick correction. If this second block is a powered rail, this system will not work. So this needs to be a regular rail. And then when it picks anything up, it'll unload and head back down. Next one's pretty easy. This is going to be a chicken farm, specifically an egg farm. We're not getting chicken meat out of this, but we are getting eggs. There's nothing fancy here. It's just going to be some stone bricks on the sides. We're going to keep this side open for now. On the bottom, we're going to have a double chest. There'll be a hopper going into the double chest with one of these guys going in. A little bit of oak plank, or oak stairs, my bad. We're going to have some glass on top. Trapdoor there. We can open that in to throw eggs in. And boom, done. Okay, so the chickens will live in there. I'm not putting them in there yet. That would be horrifying because it's so loud. But there it is. So that'll give us chickens. All right, and that just about wraps up our farms for this base. We can use the eggs from this farm, the pumpkins from our melon and pumpkin farm, and the sugar from our sugarcane farm to make our pumpkin pies as a regular food source. We have fuel from our bamboo and kelp farms, and all of the crafting tables that we need for each of these things. We have our nether portal so we can access the nether. We have a basic storage system that I put in, and a basic bedroom setup that I also added. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this base just about done. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below with any improvements that you think I could make. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around 8 o'clock to midnight, so feel free to come and hang out. I'd love to have you. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.